In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey everyone, this is your girl Patrice Grumble, Miss Essie Bookgal 843, and tonight is Tuesday night, so y'all know I'm bringing it to you, right? So tonight is extra special. And I know y'all think it treats every author you bring on your show, you think is special. Yes, please believe I do think they are. They all have a little place in my heart. I mean, that's a lot of heart going, but we that's a whole nother story. But this young lady was honored. She is now the 2025 Inspiring Authors Poet of the Year. And guess what? This is not someone that we who work for the magazine of aspiring authors chose. Oh no, this is someone that you guys chose. You guys vote for her. She won it. And she is here with me tonight. Y'all, I've interviewed her before, so it is a pleasure to bring her back again. Let's bring up Miss Moore. Come on up, Miss Moore.
Hi. Hi, Patrice. How are you?
I am good. And again, congratulations for winning the 2025 Inspiring Authors Poet of the Year. Like,
Thank you. Thank you.
how does it feel to know that people voted for you? Like, yo, how's it
It
feel?
was it was crazy because we started when did we start that? Like in November, December? And I was like,
Yes,
okay, okay. And when January came, I guess I was kind of pushing it out and trying to be like, hey, vote. And people actually came through. They showed up and showed out. So to all my people, I say thank you, thank you, thank you. Because you always had to have support. And I was
yeah.
shocked. Because it was with Keisha, it was going back and forth with us. We were like
It was
three or four.
like a battle. And every day you got to vote. And she was pushing both of you guys just to let everybody know that you guys were in the running. And there was like, okay, who's going to win? Who's going to win? Because then it was a group of you guys, and it came down smaller, and it came down smaller. And then it was just two of you guys. And I was like, I don't know who gonna win this. I don't even vote because I don't know who gonna win this. So
Yeah.
it
Yeah, it
was
was like 2 to 3 votes apart. And then I think the last night, which was the last day of February, I was like, oh man. I said, I'm gonna go to sleep and I guess I'll see. And then Angela took like 2 days to announce it. I'm like, wait a minute, who won?
we gotta have you on your P's and Q's.
The drum roll. But no, I'm
So
on.
when you found out, what was the first thing that came to your mind?
I was like, hallelujah. I said, yes, I can speak poetry, talk to the poetry community because that's what it's about because I love poetry. Um, I mean, it's just to be a voice for someone that, for poets, for the aspiring authors, that's great. And then having the ability to write what I feel too in a magazine and highlight other poets, that's awesome because the poetry community is a tight knit community. It's a lot of voices with different angles and aspects. And I think everybody deserves that chance to have their voice heard.
Yes, and it's I don't know why people do not give poetry the respect that it deserves. Yes, we have National Poetry Month, but you always hear about the Edgar Allan Poe and um, And I'm gonna tell you the truth. In the library, we really don't hear much um, of African American poets. There's one in my head, and I can't even remember. Uh, yeah, Nikki Giovanni, of course. But there are so many other poets out there, and I understand we gave it a month, but let's do it correctly. Let's show people the power of poetry. So
Right. I think
start.
hmm,
No, go ahead.
I think sometimes it doesn't get the recognition because I hope I don't offend people. Sometimes people don't want to listen and think and dig deeper into what's being said. They don't want to analyze. I feel like everything's so like a microwave generation. If it's just not there telling you that this is red, blue, and black, they don't want to listen to get more out of it, you know?
Right. It's to the point where I think they're scared to dive deeper. You know,
Hmm.
there one young lady said that reading poetry to her is digging up bones. And I'm like, what do you mean digging up
Wow.
bones? She said it brings up emotions that I don't want to deal with.
Mm,
I was like, whoa, I never thought of it that way. You know, um, so let's start all over. What brought you to the world of poetry?
okay. The world of poetry, as your lady said so eloquently, was digging up bones. It started as therapy for me. I did not consider myself a poet. I just know I could write poems and I would keep them for myself. So my first book, it was a culmination of 13 years of poetry, The Phoenix Heart, because the book shows my evolution of the heart from being broken, betrayed, lust, finding new love and healing. And I kept all of those poems and never shared them with
Mm,
anybody. And when I did share with my cousin, she was like, "Girl, you need to publish a book." And I'm like, Nobody wants to hear this. This is my personal, these are just personal poems that I've written to myself to get my feelings out on paper." But I was wrong, and thank goodness that I actually help people. Some people come up and tell me that, oh, I can relate to such and such poem or like beauty. And then I know Second Thoughts is a real big, another poem that a lot of women relate to. And what's the other one? Um, why? It's my poem. Jesus Christ. It's talking about talking about healing of a man. I have to look it up, the name of it, because why do I love him so much? I have a lot of women like that.
yeah. So when you write your poetry, is it just geared toward women or is men reading it also?
No, I have men reading it. A lot of the men identify with the um it's one poem called it's about dating, and a lot of men like that poem. Like I said, Jesus Christ, now I have to stop running. And then actually it was called The Date. Men do like the poems in my second book. A lot of them like they like the journey, they like devil reflection. So I write towards everybody, because if you're in a relationship, have been in love, um yeah, it's for you. I mean, I can only write from a female's point of view, but you can use that for a male or for from a female perspective, because love is love, right?
Surely is. Love is love. Might see it two different ways, but I think that would be
Hmm.
kind of cool. Um, so I see you got your book in front of you. I can't remember the poem that you wrote, and I read it and I said, "What the devil?" I cannot remember. We talked about it the first time I had you on the show,
Oh
and
my
it was
goodness.
it's in Phoenix Rising.
Hmm.
I can't remember what it is. I'm mad at that. But you
You
guys,
did a
I
you
have
did
read
a
her work.
lot of them.
Yeah, because you had me going with that book there. I remember that Phoenix Rising because the cover was, y'all. The cover was the most beautiful cover. There it is. I have ever seen. Like, y'all in these book covers is getting me. Like, how we started talking today at work, we're calling it the tabletop books.
Yeah,
This
the
is the
coffee.
books that the coffee table, right? These are the books that you
Mhm.
leave on your coffee table, so when people come over, they want to know what
Mhm.
is this. So
And
I've got two books I gotta get now that are my two coffee table books. Y'all, I'll have that author on in June, representing for the fellas, because y'all know June is all about the men, but we coming back to the poetry.
are they?
Yes, June on SC Book Gals and Friends is going to be all about the fellas.
Oh,
Um, last month we did the ladies. So this in June we're gonna do the fellas, and in May for Mother's Day we're gonna do the ladies again. I really want to dedicate a show to our men. I'll go
that's
on.
a good thing.
I'll go that tyrant leader because I really don't. I really feel that we, and me personally, and I am going to be the first one to vouch that we don't pay enough attention to our men, African American men, and
Um,
in June we're gonna do that. I'm gonna give y'all crowns because y'all deserve it. But we're gonna finish talking to this lady who is now wearing the crown. So you said that you started writing for your healing. Do you
mhm.
feel like the healing came during the process of writing? Or like another author I had, they said that healing actually came after they published the book because they felt vindicated or they felt finally heard. When did your healing happen?
It happened during the course of um, putting all the poems together and really reading it and putting the book together. Um, and when I put it out, I guess I mean, I was healed when I put it out because I had to I wouldn't have been able to share myself with the world if I wasn't healed. Because when you share your poetry, you're sharing yourself, so you have to be ready for criticism and whatever people um, may have to say or come at you and ask you questions why. And so at that point, I was ready. I was ready to share and knew that I was healed and I could talk about it because without animosity, you know, yeah,
Yeah. Well, I can see that. I can see where that healing has to be before you actually publish the book because I've seen some people butcher authors, which I really don't think is right, y'all. It's their work, it's their baby. So why would you do that? Um, Speaking of having people talk about your work, what type of feedback have you received? Like, what are your fans saying? What are people like, hey, when you coming out with the next one? Or hey, what is this? Or I can relate to that. What kind of feedback are you getting from your readers?
I get very positive feedback on my poetry, and like when I do open mics and stuff, I get a lot of questions like what you said. They're waiting for my third book, but I have jumped into the book writing author world and wrote a romance mystery book. So right now I'm trying to juggle to continue the Phoenix series. I'm starting my poetry book, the Kaleidoscope, because you know um, they asked, "Hey, when stuff coming out?" But when you're a creative, you have the times when your light just turns on. So like the last couple of weeks, I've just been writing poetry and I just couldn't stop writing it now. And so now I'm like, okay, it's getting closer for Kaleidoscope to come out, and I'm almost through with Blueprint, which would be my second novel, my sophomore novel. So I get good feedback with Gemini Echoes, which is my first romance novel. Um, I have gotten really good feedback because people are like, golly, I didn't expect the ending. They didn't expect any of that. They said I had a good twist and turn. So I was like, oh, okay, I'm all right on that then. I can do my poetry. And in the novel, of course, I'm a poet. So I have haikus that sum up my chapters at each chapter. So I had a lot of people that liked that.
Ah, so you still incorporate your poetry in your book.
I sure
Love
do.
it.
I
Love
sure do.
it.
I do.
So which one do you like creating more? The actual characters or the poetry?
Oh, why do you, every time I get on, I have to choose between my kids? Um,
Because you know what? Parents, I'm gonna bring this in. I know they say we're not supposed to have that favorite child,
but
but you know what we do? We just love them differently.
we
So I
do.
guess the question would be, which one are you loving more right now?
Um, it's always the new one that you love more, right?
I don't know my kids. Cause see that new one, boy, that got a mouth on her.
Mm,
So,
well, honestly, I have to say poetry because I can create poetry. I can share it. It doesn't take as long as writing the novel because I thought the editing process was tedious with my little poetry books, right?
oh my God,
The
it's
the uh,
crazy.
the novellas and novel is really crazy,
Yeah,
and but I don't know. I love poetry. I love poetry because it's just that's the gift that God gave me. So I love poetry and I love to write. So poetry, ding, poetry for
you
500, Patrice.
do. So off before we came on, we were talking about you stepping into a whole new world when it comes to writing. Do you want to tell us a little bit about it?
Um, about the me writing novels.
You writing that street lit novel.
Oh, the new one. Okay, so my sophomore novel is entitled Blueprint. So it's a urban drama. So it mixes street love, and this one is more. The characters are deeper and more um in, engrossed in drama because everybody affects somebody else. And I have a lot of twists in this one. My beta readers are like, when I talk to them once a week, they're like, "Girl, I didn't see this coming. You kind of Carl Weber-ish, Tyler
Yeah,
Perry-ish." I said, "Really?" I was like,
because
"Okay."
you're right. Because Carl Webb and Tyler Perry are good for putting a twist in it. Like, it's, yeah, we ain't even
I
talk about
like
Tyler.
to put I like to put a twist in it. And like in my first one, Gemini Echoes, everybody's like, I really just didn't see him, her as being who did it. Because it's a romance mystery. It's a cozy romance mystery.
Oh, cozy. Now, that's something that you don't see much when it comes to
Hmm.
African American authors is a cozy romance. Like we see a lot of the I call them the rom com, the romance, whatever genre that is. That's just it's just not me. It's I call it the corny romance. Um, but
No,
cozy romance from an African American author, I think you might be the first one I've ever known.
really, the cozy
Yeah,
romance. Yeah,
yeah.
it's the cozy romance, small town. Small town,
You
cozy
are
romance.
yes, you are the first one because I'm thinking and I can't see it. That is just cozy romance. Now we say Christmas, yeah, I do see one, but just cozy romance. Yes, you're the first.
It's a cozy romance. Of course, romance. Not all romances, but it's a star. It has a star-crossed lover in it, a little love triangle. In a small town, and once I had to talk to the editors and people about how to classify it, and that's what they told me. They said it's a cozy, small town cozy romance mystery. So it's all combined, and that's one of the things that I learned since publishing a novel is how to classify, because you can just say it's romance. Well, what kind of romance is it? Is it contemporary? Is it multicultural? Is it woman's romance, mystery? It's like 12, 13, 14 categories just for romance and subcategories. And
And
so, mhm.
yeah, you made a great point with that. I really do wish that African American authors would look more into classification of their books. I think if you classify your books a little better than you do now, they would get a wider audience. You just can't say street lit. Street lit what? I mean,
Yeah,
it's not really even street lit call anymore. It's urban, gritty.
urban.
Yeah, it's so many under that one umbrella. To when I went to a conference, they had a whole session, and the title of the session is "My book is not African American." Stop saying African American as a genre, and
hmm
that had I still find myself doing it, but it made so much sense.
But you're correct. It helps with the sales. So just like before I put out my poetry book, I I I had to know what genre it was. And so
Mhm.
it sounds corny, like, yeah, I love poetry. But when it's classified, then it's love poetry, African American poetry, general poetry, because that's how it goes out to reach the audience and the people that you sell. So, like with my novel, with it being cozy, um, my editor was like, cozy, do you know what cozy means? And I'm like, not really. I just know I have a romance. She was like, your characters have to have a life, but it has to be elastic enough, flexible enough to where they're running around, having their romance, involved in a murder mystery, but yet they're still working, eating, and living. So
Mhm.
your book falls into cozy, and it's a small town cozy because your setting is Lakeshore View, Texas, which is
Yeah.
and you have your different scenes. And so I think as African Americans, but we shouldn't classify what you just said. You need to more Black authors. You should look at different categories because you can open yourself up to different readers because other people want to know our experience too and read our books
Right.
too. It's just classifying them so they get out there to the platforms. So.
For you said it so perfectly. So perfectly you said that. So I hope y'all taking hints from her because I mean she won the award for a reason, so she's dropping knowledge. I mean, come on, eat it up, okay? So we're gonna backtrack, as you know, it's fun time question. So remember we talked about you writing a novel and from the woman's standpoint. hmm
Mhm.
So here's the fun question: if you can co-author a book with any male and have a male and female poetry book, who would it be and what will the book be about?
You say
hmm
anybody?
Any male, any male, author, artist, TV personality, news anchor, any male, who would it be?
I was. I don't want to. I don't want to say Denzel because I was on another podcast and they were like, "Oh yeah, of course you're gonna say Denzel because he's your age." But Denzel.
But okay, so we got Denzel,
hmm
and What would the title of the book be and why?
Uh, it would be called Pelican Bay.
So is that Bay BAY or Bay
But
BAB?
because okay, Training Day is one of my favorite movies, and I hate the fact that I shouldn't say hate. Let me take that back. He won his Oscar off of being a villain, and he is the furthest thing from what I see off screen as a villain. But it's an iconic role, and so a role. So I would name it Pelican Bay because he was like, "You think you can do this to me?" So so we would have poetry based on what do you think you could do to me or what could I do to you? You know what I'm saying? In life, sports,
I'm
love.
sorry. My
Am I
mama just went,
crazy?
"No." You said, I'm sorry. The
And
last
then
two
he,
people I had were erotic writers. And when you said, "What can I do to you?" Or "What can you do?" My head just went straight there, like, hey, you about to have that
no.
for me.
Oh my God. Oh my God. And you talk about erotic. Now I'm gonna have to go find the things. So that was one of the hardest thing in my romance book because I'm like, Jesus Christ, my mom, my grandmother who's 96 has my book and everybody I was like, I can't write like the smut scene. So I had to try to keep my my love my love scenes classy and leave it to imagination.
Well, that
So
is
if I
great.
write an erotic, it's gonna be in a pen name. It's gonna be Pelican Bay. No, I'm just playing.
But I understand that. I do understand that. There are authors who do um I know one of them who actually wrote an erotic book, and she wrote a poetry erotic, and I will say home style erotic, but they were the same book. That all she did was change one of them to a pen name and expound on the other. And I was
Yeah.
like,
Mm,
yo, like, where do you do that at? Like, that is genius. But what she did was she got a whole group of people, and they didn't realize that they were writing the same book, but just one she expounded on, and the other one she kept it clean or
mm,
semi clean.
mhm.
Okay.
Put
So
that.
what she said, she was entertaining the angel and the devil, and they didn't know it. I said, "You crazy." But when I read it,
Mm,
it was like, and the poetry titles is the same. Not, I mean, the poem titles in the book are the same, but they just expound on two different ones. It was
one
crazy,
was
but it was
it
great.
was an explicit version and one wasn't.
Yes. So it was like the CDs we had back in the day when you had to put that little what X on
The
it or
little
whatever we said.
parental advisor. Yeah.
Right, right. So we had Denzel Washington. So now you and Denzel, y'all just wrote this book, okay? And audio book is now becoming very popular in the African American community.
Mm-hmm.
So who gonna narrate it?
Denzel.
And you want Denzel to narrate?
Yes.
Okay, we could do Denzel narrating, but then we gonna have to have some music in the background. So who we got singing in the background to set the
Um.
mood? Mhm.
Oh, it's either gonna be Leon Thomas or Gibeon.
Oh, oh, you went there. Oh,
Hmm.
you went
Yeah, those are that's on my playlist every day.
there. Okay, what songs?
Make You Mine, Gibeon, Leon Thomas, Mutt.
See, y'all need to go ahead and listen to it. Go ahead and
Mhm.
go ahead and write it down. When this is over,
What's the
y'all go listen
rest? Hmm.
to it.
Hmm.
And she playing in her head. 'Cause I saw the head bob.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Gibeon, I really like him.
Okay.
Hmm.
Would you ever want to go see it in person? Hear him in person?
Oh yeah, of course, yes. him, Leon Thomas. I'm thinking about giving away a car payment to go see Chris Brown.
See, that's a car payment, yes, because
That's
these
a
Beyonce tickets is ridiculous.
there's like a car payment, maybe the electric bill. These tickets are high, and then
And then
the meet and greet would be a couple of months of car payment. I'm trying to
and
see that young man.
everyone say his show is good. They
Oh, he
say his
can
show is
dance. You
good.
don't like Chris Brown?
I mean, I really want to go see Maxwell. Maxwell is supposed to be coming down here to. That
Maxwell was in Dallas in October, I think.
he wasn't good.
I don't know. I had tickets and I didn't end up going.
Oh man, at least I at least seeing like who's that fell off the stage? Genuine. You couldn't pay me to go see him. I'm sorry.
You know, Genuine is mm,
I saw that. Look.
back in the day, back in my day when we was all because we all the same age now. Yeah,
Yes, yes.
he,
Back in the
he
day,
was it.
he could get it. Now
He
it's
was
like,
it.
please sit down, Grandpa. You don't fall off stage and you get up singing. No, I'm gonna need you to just cancel the show. Go to the ER and make sure everything all right with you. You know.
He done fell all down through two or three times.
Okay, it was okay. So the last one, y'all. I know I'm so wrong for this. I am so wrong. The last one I saw, he was on the stage and the big guy, I think he was signing or he was maybe the security. He actually did like this and he fell down even more. I was like, yo, you didn't even try to help do that. But like,
He
okay.
just moved out the way.
No, I love when you come. You are such a beautiful spirit. Before we
Thank
leave
you.
tonight, tell the audience how they can follow you, the books that you have out. Just go ahead and grow that audience of yours.
Okay, so you can find me on social media. I'm very simple. Marcine and More on Facebook, and I have a page. I just started up. Author Marcine Moore on Facebook. I have TikTok, Marcine and More, Instagram. That real Miss Moore. I forget MZ Moore, and that's the same handle on um, Twitter, X, or whatever. I rarely go on there to be honest, but I have the handle. My books are Phoenix Heart, poetry,
Hmm.
Reflections Rising,
Mm. Y'all look at those covers, yo.
and Gemini Echoes. And my books are on Barnes and Noble. If you Google, if you can't remember the name of my books, you can just put in Marcine Moore, and all my books will come up on Barnes and Noble. So yeah. I'll
Well, Miss,
be huh?
no, you were going to be.
I'll be on the at the Oscars next week if you're in Dallas, Texas, at the Doc Bookshop, which is a spoken word Oscars. It's at the Doc Bookshop in Fort Worth, and the Doc I'm doing a plug for you is one of the largest black-owned bookstores in the South. Angela's
Yeah.
been there. And then May I'll be in Winsboro, Texas, at the book festival, the book the Festival of Books in Winsboro, Texas. I'll be in Austin at the Lone Star, Texas Museum Lone Star Festival in Austin. If you are a book or music or film aficionado, come out because they have all of the Indies Fest. It's like a small version of the Canes Festival in that they do
Oh.
in France. Yes, it's a whole weekend. And they have authors, um, film producers, and music, and that's in Austin, June the 6th, 7th, and 8th, I believe. So,
Hmm.
so that's pretty much my schedule for the next 2 months.
So y'all see, this young lady is booked and she's busy. So if you're in the Austin, Texas, or in the Texas area, go ahead and meet her with her. Go ahead and show your support, and go ahead and get those books. Cause I've never given you a book that you don't like. I mean, come on, gain a new love author, okay?
Mhm.
Again, congratulations for being the
Thank you.
2025 Aspiring Authors Poet of the Year.
Thank
She
you.
has be taking over the Poetry Corner, and that's going to be in every single monthly magazine in 2025. That's going to be done by her. So go
Oh, and
ahead.
I have the look. I even get to put aspiring authors. That's our magazine. Hey.
Yes. Look at it, you guys. So you know what? That copy is available. So once y'all go
Mhm.
ahead and support her and get that copy, it tells you all about her. It has her books and everything and her handles. Okay, you guys?
And
Again, no, what's that?
and other amazing poets. It's full of poets and poetry that are
Oh
poets.
yeah, we got a bunch of people in Africa. Hey
I
y'all,
have
I'm
a whole book. Yes. So that's
so y'all just need to go ahead and grab it. Just you know what? Matter of fact, how about y'all go ahead and get a monthly subscription so you don't miss any. Okay? The magazine can be found on Amazon. Okay? And you can purchase a digital copy off of Amazon, which means you can read it on your Kindle and on your phone.
Mhm.
Then we do have the printed copy that you can get a copy of. Okay? And you can get that every month. And you will always be up to date. Okay. Y'all don't want to
Mhm.
miss this because she has her corner. Then we have other topics. We have the Free Texas campaign. We have a business corner. I give you the my hottest books, and I do it for all ages. And there's a different genre every month, so there's always something new in the magazine. Okay, you guys. So that's Aspiring Authors Magazine. Okay. Again, Miss Moore, congratulations.
Thank
And
you.
I am going to be looking forward to your articles every month. You
Uh,
guys look forward to, okay?
Thank you for
Another
having me. I always love coming on your show, Patrice.
thank you. You know I love y'all coming on here. It's another Tuesday night, you guys. Thank you. Be blessed. And remember, there's never an old book because not everyone has read every book. See you next week, Tuesday, with another poet. Bye.
Bye.